We are on Skype with Miranda O, author of Chin Up, Tits Out series. Miranda, welcome.
Well, I am so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
That is awesome. I read your book, lovely book, easy to read. I love the way you wrote it. It's amazing, and I think it lets the author kind of follow your character throughout the whole book. Tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a fiction novel. You follow a young woman who kind of has her life seemingly mapped out. She knows what she wants, right? And then falls in love with a young man with an accent, and all kind of goes out the window, all of her plans. But she's so dead set on, making this relationship happen. So there's a lot of immigration stuff and long distance relationship struggles and challenges. And I wrote the book in a sense of how do I evoke emotion? I went through these types of events my own self. So like, why not write about it? And I wanted to connect with people because my inner voice was consistently going and battling me back and forth. And I learned that if I embrace it versus challenge it, that life is a little bit funner and more enjoyable because life is really tough. So why not try to find silver linings and ways to enjoy it?
And I love that. I love your motto in terms of how to live life and overcome fears and that kind of stuff. And I think the book tells it all in terms of overcoming those fears. And I think you nailed it in this book. And it really touches a person who's reading it. Really, when I was reading it, I felt like I was that person because it's her inner thoughts. I can feel them and I can read them. And so well done on that. And so obviously that was the motto and that was the reasoning of the book. But what really inspired the book? Obviously you talked about your life and how you wanted to kind of, show that aspect of it.
Oh, well, okay. So real life experience really drew me to like, girl, you have a story. Because when people are like, hey, so what are you up to these days? And, what's new? And then I start to well, I'm dating somebody from the other side of the world and I'm having arguments with immigration officers or, they're like, there's racism from a whole new level that I had absolutely no idea existed, like naive me. And then that was just the tip of the iceberg. And that's just the first book that you have. So it is a trilogy. And the second book goes into other, I guess, journeys and experiences that our main character Hadley goes through in her 20s. And it really opens up to a lot of raw topics, a lot of tough topics, and but talked about in this positive mindset of, yeah, no matter what and how dark, you can always find a silver lining, and you can always choose to be kind to yourself and to be kind to the ones around you, and that makes life a little bit better.
Definitely, and I think as an author, you live in Manitoba, you have all these creative things that you're thinking about and to write about, but I also like the way you wrote the book in terms of little paragraphs, like that's palatable, it's easy to read, and I think it's a new trend, in a way. A lot of people are starting to really enjoy writing it this way.
Yeah, you know what? It kind of came out accidentally. Like this inner voice that I have inside of me is not inner, it's an outer voice. People that work close within me, they hear it all the time because she comes out and I'm like, oh, that was the inside voice. Oh my gosh. So you learn to embrace it. But the short stints it was easier for me to write and to digest as a human when I'm reading through tough stuff. You read a little bit and it's heavy, and every breath in and every breath out is intense, and you have like the words are just gripping you, and then you're like, oh. And then it's like, no, that inner voice with sass is coming out with a little twisted, dark sense of humor, and then you're like, oh, whew, I can breathe again. And so I like that because it just makes it so much more of an event when you read. I always suggest to have a beverage in hand or within reach, and to just get yourself cozy and to read the books, because they're one of the ones that you just don't want to put the page down.
Oh, for sure. Before we go, I kind of want to know a little bit about you. Obviously, were you born in Manitoba, Winnipeg, and it was, what was that like? Were you always a writer?
Always a storyteller, I can tell you that. Writer, I think I always wrote, like I always had journals, but born and raised in Winnipeg, happy little family of mom and a dad and a brother, always had dogs in my life. It's the prairies, so it's flat, it's very sunny, it's very cold in the wintertime, but very beautiful and warm in the summertime. And I'm a huge advocate for Winnipeg. I absolutely love living here. I love the people. I live right downtown. I'm also an Airbnb host, so this space at UC I share with people and travelers from around the world, and I absolutely love that because, like,
Love it.
you never know the opportunities that can come from there.
That is awesome. I know we're running out of time, but where can people grab your book?
Easy peasy. You can find it on Amazon worldwide, or you can look on my website at miranda.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us and telling us all about your book and a little bit about your life story. I want to talk to you more in the future, of course, but thanks a lot, Miranda, for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm very appreciative.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.